A man allegedly drove hundreds of miles all the way to Maryland to carry out a brutal double murder. Then he was found on the beach in Florida.
David, come here. David, come here. You David, right? David? Yeah.
But what was the motive behind this heinous act carried out while children were in the house? We're breaking down everything we know, as the case is supposed to land in front of a jury very soon. I'm Elizabeth Millner, and this is Inside the Crime. Hey, by the way, there's a reason Law&Crime is the go-to spot for true crime content. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm. They have more than 1,000 attorneys and have recovered $25 billion from more than 500,000 clients. In the past few months alone, a client in Florida received $12 million when insurance offered just $350,000. And in Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million, 40 times the insurer's offer. Morgan & Morgan makes it so easy to fight for what you deserve, you can even start a claim from your phone. So if you're injured, you can start a claim at forthepeople.com/insidethecrime. Click the link below or scan the QR code on your screen. Police say not only was this a heinous targeted double murder, a crime they described as full of rage and anger, but if that wasn't bad enough, the murders were carried out while children were in the house. Crimea Baker and her boyfriend Sean Lange had a beautiful blended family. Crimea had 3 children from a prior relationship, and her 4th and youngest child was with Sean. But still, Sean treated all of the children as if they were his. But that beautiful family is now forever torn apart. On August 25th of 2024, deputies were called to Crimea and Sean's home, where they discovered the couple dead. Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins said the scene was horrific. Sean and Crimea had been shot more than 40 times, at close range too. The sheriff said this was a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger. According to a previous report by NBC Washington, the initial investigation revealed the couple were shot around 1:30 in the morning. So who could burst in their home so early in the morning to kill them so viciously? Detectives said there was no indication the killing was random, meaning the victims likely knew their killer. Thankfully, all 4 children were unharmed. But what's devastating and even scary is they were home when the shooting happened. Officials say when the kids heard the gunshots, they hid until the next morning when they thought it was safe to come out. But the huge question on the detectives' minds were, who could have done this? Was it someone either from Crimea or Sean's past? Remember how I mentioned Sean wasn't the biological father of Crimea's oldest 3 children? Well, investigators looked into the children's father, also Crimea's ex-husband, David Phillip Turner, who turned out to be suspect number 1. Only thing is, he doesn't live in Maryland, but officers found him on a beach in Florida the following month.
David, come here. David, come here. You David, right? David? Yeah. Calm the phone like you're praying. Oh, can we? Well, we can't do that. Stop. It's okay. No, stop. No. No. What's your name, man?
David.
Okay, David. Right. We're gonna walk back over here.
Give her the keys.
Real quick. Hold on. Just relax, dude. Just here. Hold on. Charlie 40 on 1. We have 1 detained at 1750 South Ocean Boulevard. Can you please pull us a case number? Everything is 10. Okay. Just a second. You said you want to give the car to her.
Keys and my
Okay. We'll
do
that in a minute. Wait, just real quick. We gotta make sure the warrant's even good, my friend. In the meantime, again, everything is 10. Where are you staying at?
Everything's so far.
Largo Mar or something like that.
Okay. Is that where your car is at? Because we can't give you your keys and everything to her.
No, it's
Man,
not
can
my
you back
car.
up a little bit?
It's her car.
It's her car. Okay,
It's
no big
okay.
deal.
We're the police. You know how it is, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate your cooperation, man.
Okay, I'm gonna take everything out. We'll talk about giving it to her in a minute.
Let's get off the sand, man. It's hot. Everything is crazy.
Well, hang on. Spread your feet, sir.
1750 South Ocean.
Spread your feet all the way. Thank you. Step on your toes. Charlie 40 up, Delta 24, Charlie 44, Tango 2, and K9 75 on this call.
I'm sorry, you got a lot of wind in your microphone.
I'll take it.
Charlie 44 and Tango 2.
10-4. For now, Charlie 44 and myself are on the beach side, and I'll give you the other units when we get off the sand.
1922
Well, wait, y'all said y'all checking the warrant?
1922 South
Oh,
Ocean.
okay.
So far.
It's a valid one. What was the issue?
I'm not sure.
Hey, bring him to the Jeep like Points of America. We got a marked car here. Yeah, behind you.
The Points of America one's right here.
You said 1922 South Ocean, right?
Bro, I'm a patrolman, man. Look at how I'm dressed.
No, I'm saying, like, how long ago? Because I just had
Me
police
personally?
contact like 2 years ago.
Me personally, like 5 minutes.
No, I'm talking about policeman. I don't know.
I'm just a regular patrolman, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just work the beat, whistle, spin my nightstick. You know how it is.
South Ocean Lane. It's a pink building. Address is 1922.
So am I under arrest?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, you're being detained pending warrant confirmation, but the warrant's pretty much confirmed, my friend.
What is it for?
I'm not sure. I was sent here by my boss. I'm just a patrolman, dude. I really mean that.
Okay.
Alright?
Bill 15 dispatch.
I'm correcting the address.
There's a gate code.
We can just bring them up the. We can bring them up the walkway.
Sounds fine.
Oh, they see us.
Any year that has the gate code for 1922 South Ocean, I don't see anything on the header.
What do you do for biceps, bro?
Okay.
Nothing. You're just naturally jacked.
I mean, I worked out a long time ago.
Yeah?
Not anymore, yeah.
You play ball?
Oh.
No. No. Did you play ball when you were young?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
Any year to provide a gate code 1922 South Ocean.
Did y'all confirm the warrant yet?
We're just walking on the sand, dog.
I mean,
I gotta get you to
Call
my
it in
car
for
in the
me.
AC, and then
Oh,
I gotta
okay.
call it in, all right?
well, I mean, I assume there is one of y'all sent out here looking for me, but
Yeah, man. I mean, look, we don't do nothing by accident. I mean, sometimes police do, but for the most part,
Yeah.
nothing's really by accident. You know what I'm saying?
no, 'cause I was just saying, like, I had police contact like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so I'm like, why didn't you just arrest me then?
I don't know why. That was my answer.
Yeah, right, yeah. I was like, why didn't you just arrest me?
Maybe they just wanted Fort Lauderdale to handle it. I don't know. Watch your step. Watch your step. I got you.
Channel 83-5440 Northeast 22nd Terrace. Calling by his mail, walked out with the 610 gun in his hand, staring at the complaint as he went southbound on Federal Highway, like Ken Black Mill with Lange, 6 foot, like in a piece of bag. Ready for it, 10 for it. Get self-assessment.
Oh, yeah.
10. Is that really as far as 1 o'clock earlier?
See how regular patrolman I am? I'm dealing with iguana calls, bro. I didn't even expect to be out here today.
34 and 327 Northeast 10th Ave. 67 Northeast 10th Ave. Girlfriend, staff, driver.
Well, that's a little more serious, I guess.
Huh?
Said she's got stabbed with a screwdriver. I guess that's a little more serious, but.
Your car's a cage?
Yeah.
You guys want to see the boyfriend still in 7
I know. You know.
We can go to the gray car, okay? Get you in the AC, relax for a minute, and we'll talk a little. Well, someone will talk to you, okay? On the right side, truck.
Yeah. I just got it back to the garage.
It's not my car, so I'm gonna search you again real quick, okay? I know you're on the beach, man. I'm not naive. I ain't accusing you of nothing, but I don't know you. You don't know me, so ready for you real quick.
I know, man, but like I said, it's not like I don't trust you per se. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
The handcuffs good?
They're a little tight.
Like on your shoulders,
They're a little tight on my wrist.
on your wrist. Give us 1 second. We'll figure that out, okay?
David didn't say much while in the back of the squad car. He still appeared confused on why he's being arrested.
I don't understand why this thing is out. Makes no damn sense.
I mean, he said y'all still confirming the warrant, right?
What happened?
He said he's still confirming the warrant. Like, I want to know if I actually have a warrant so y'all can arrest me or not.
You ain't know you had a warrant?
No, he said he's still confirming it. He said,
Oh, yeah, man. I just came a little after, but they'll explain it to you what's going on in a minute.
oh, okay.
I really don't know what the problem is.
Eventually, officers informed him that warrant was for suspicion of murder, so no chance he was free to leave, and officers brought him to the Broward County Jail.
I thought you were messing with me, but when you just buckle you up. Why not? Man, human beings is human beings, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a judge, I ain't a jury, I ain't an executioner. I'm just a delivery man.
This way.
This way. You know what I'm saying?
I'll do it.
More of us acted that way, maybe we do better. I don't know.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? I love you, I love you. Yellow steps over there, yellow footprints over there, you can stand right there. Come around this way, though. I got your paper, I'm gonna write the number down on your stuff, right? Right here, man. Hey, David. Right here. Just an administrative search over there. Get you more comfortable. Turn your face in. Put your hands back together. Alright, then you stand up and then we'll get the rest of the stuff sorted out here. Yeah, it's right here. Hello. What's up, man? What's up, buddy? Yeah, man. The main thing you want is your mom's number, right? Main thing is mom's number?
David was charged with 2 counts of murder.
We believe that Turner entered the residence through a back door sometime after 1 a.m. before 1:25 and murdered her and Mr. Lange in the bedroom, firing more than 42 rounds into the victims. Like I've said before, this is a heinous violent crime, a targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger that shocked Frederick County to the core. Our detectives have worked tirelessly 7 days a week to find the person responsible for the murders, pursuing every lead possible. Sheriff's Office detectives, along with the local FBI agent, traveled to Miami last week to execute a search and seizure warrant on Turner's apartment and on his vehicle. Evidence from the search warrant led us to be able to obtain an arrest warrant. We were able to determine he was in Frederick County for a period of time around the murders. So again, not necessarily an alibi, but we locked him into a lie.
What was your lie?
With the fact that he had not traveled to Frederick County.
How do you get to and from? You and I spoke, and you sort of talked about an airport back then, but...
We believe he traveled by vehicle, by his personal vehicle.
Excuse me, Sheriff. Shaylee for the Veterans Post. Do you know anything at this point about the gun that was used in the murder? Was it registered to Mr. Turner?
We do not. We haven't located or identified a firearm involved. We're still conducting an investigation into that, what he could have owned, what he could have purchased somewhere. And again, nothing that's matched the caliber of the rounds that were fired.
How are the children doing? Where are they?
You know, let me say this. They are devastated. Their lives will never be the same, but I believe physically they're okay, and they're with family and they're safe.
According to CBS News, David later waived his bond review hearing and was ordered to be held without bond. By December of 2024, he was extradited from Florida to Maryland. He was supposed to go on trial this year for the double murders. Then he reportedly fired his attorney, which delayed the case even more. But a new trial date was put on the calendar for spring of 2026. I'm joined now by law enforcement instructor Sunny Slaughter. Sunny, thank you so much for joining me. How often have you seen a murder suspect who's arrested on a beach?
Not often, okay? Not often at all. But the fact that the murder suspect felt comfortable enough to continue to go on doing, I mean, this is a horrific murder with the number of shots fired and everything. So it's actually the first time that I have ever heard of a murder suspect being arrested on the beach in the United States of America, just like lounging and chilling out in Florida.
Taking a walk on the beach, I think with his mom around the time. Yeah, it was pretty interesting because even in the body cam footage, he kept saying, what's this for? What's the warrant for? But I know it's hard to get in the mind of somebody else, but why do you think that was his response, especially with what investigators are alleging?
You know, it's the automatic denial. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm with my mom. I'm kind of doing a mundane routine thing. So there's no way whatever you're asking me about could have anything to do with me. I think that criminals and defendants like this have a level of arrogance that, one, law enforcement are not smart. They have gotten away with the crime. So it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Why are you here? It's that kind of attitude. Not, okay, I may have been caught.
Yeah. Because we see it on both sides here at Law&Crime, where we see deny, but then there are some who are just very, very quick to confess. But when we talk about the crime as a whole, it really is truly horrific. Kind of going back to your first answer, it was pre-planned, it was premeditated, because I'm thinking if you're driving all the way from Florida to Maryland, there's plenty of time, if murder was really on your mind, to turn around, go home, not go through with this. But the fact that he allegedly, if this is what investigators say happened, drove all the way from Florida to Maryland, carried out this crime, snuck in through the back door, and shot them at such close range, all while the children are still inside the home. Like, that's unfathomable to me. What's your reaction?
Absolutely. You know, I recently drove from Maryland to Tallahassee, and it is an extensive drive. There is plenty of time, plenty of opportunities to get off the highway and make a different choice. The hours that it takes and the determination that it takes, it is Tallahassee, it was at least like 13, 14 hours. You know, it's a very extensive drive. The thought process when you are driving that long distance allows you to really think about so many things. Think about your children, think about your life, think about the life you had with this person, think about whether these actions, what type of impact these actions will have. And the fact that someone could do that deliberately, intentionally, and that he had pre-planned it, which meant he knew the layout of the home, he knew the potential for access to the home. Even if he didn't know that the back door was going to be unlocked, he would have had to do the lie in wait if it wasn't, in order to get into the house. And even more callous, I think, when you think about, there were 4 children in the home. 3 of those children were his. One belonged to the other victim and his ex-wife. But they were 4 children under the age 13 and under. Children can get frantic just like anyone else could during gunfire. And he chose to go into the home in the dark of night and carry out such a very deliberate, heinous murder, because there were 44 shell cases and 1 live round. That is a lot of ammo, a lot of firepower, a lot of consistency. And he had a lot of time to rethink his actions. And then he drove back home.
Yeah. And I just think about that.
He didn't even think about, although the children weren't physically harmed, the thought, we said, well, the children weren't harmed or they weren't physically harmed. They are forever scarred in ways that a physical scar can't even be repaired. To go in or not go in to see their mother, their father, their mother's boyfriend. I can't even imagine the
I
fear.
believe from reports too that they were the ones that called 911, like having to hide into the
Yes.
basement. You hear gunshots, and then you only come out when you feel like it's safe enough, knowing that, again, what investigators are saying, that it might have been your father doing this. It's just, I
Yeah.
can't imagine that at all. And I'm curious, Sunny, what your thoughts are on the possible motive here. I mean, yes, the sheriff's office says that this was a crime committed out of full rage, but I'm curious too because Crimea was moving on with her life. She was happy she had a new child,
Yeah.
but the David Phillip Turner and her divorced in 2019, and the murders took place in
19.
2024. What are your thoughts on just maybe was this always on his mind all along? Do you think that there was a catalyst that happened? Because I'm just thinking there's such a time discrepancy. What do you think was the actual motive that made him just, if investigators say it's true, just come with all this rage so long after the divorce?
I was thinking about that, and I'm so glad that you brought it up because I was looking at the timeline. I said 2019 for the divorce. She is literally moved on. She has like evolved into an entire relationship.
Mhm.
She has another child. I don't know the age of the child, but it doesn't seem like she was bothering him in any
Yeah,
way. And when you think about, even though we already know all of these are allegations because
right.
of course, the case still has to go to trial and not even going to trial until 2026, but of March. When you think about domestic violence and you think about the level relationships and the complexities of relationships and what could have potentially drove the two of them to divorce, was there ever violence and harm in the marriage, and is that the reason? And more importantly, was he so enraged potentially, based on what investigators are saying,
Hmm.
that she had moved on without him, had another child, and was living her life, and he yet could not get his footing in the world in the way in which she was doing, and he didn't want to see her happy. He didn't want, a lot of times people don't want to see another person move on from them. They don't want to see them happy. They don't want, they want to maintain that control. And we have seen cases where people have been separated or divorced for a long time, and then a person goes back, the ex goes back and murders them.
Hmm.
Not necessarily in this heinous way,
Yeah.
but the children, if this is true, they have lost both of their parents, another caretaker that meant something to them, and their lives are forever destroyed. People's actions, they're so quick to act, and then we act, the act was so callous without recognizing the consequences of it.
Mm.
I just don't understand what the motive could have been other than jealousy and rage.
And I'm also thinking when this trial does happen in the spring, do you think it's possible one of the children might have to take the stand to testify about what they heard? I can't imagine, having to go through that. And I know how delicate it would have to be played out on both sides. But I
Yeah.
mean, I just can't even imagine a child having to go through that in the first place, but then have to go and recount that in front of a bunch of people, including a jury, a judge, the murder suspect who happens to be their father. I just can't even
Yeah.
imagine that.
I was thinking about that. Is it the 13-year-old that potentially heard
Yeah,
and dialed 911? Because we don't know the ages of the other children.
right.
Um, did they see him? Is that how they were able to determine so quickly that it was the father? Even though they have surveillance cameras. And I was also looking at some other details about them having to get 35. The prosecution wanted a delay because there were 35 witnesses from across the country, in different states. And I was like, that's a lot of witnesses. So 35 on the prosecution side.
Yeah.
Huh. That means they have some information that is so unique to their case that they want all of these witnesses to come in from various states because they have to do that coordination. And like you said, the child, potentially, one of the children may have seen it. And then to have to testify against your own father, you know, they're going to need therapy. And they do have organizations, child centers that, you know, that do the forensic interviews and that can then have long-term services for the children. But when you think about long-term services, and I know how this works because I've had to do it personally, where you have to take multiple children through that type of service, it is multiple days, a week, and each child has their own therapist. So you're waiting there. So this takes a lot of time to do that and to get them prepped and ready for a potential witness stand and to tell their story in open court is a lot for a child. It's a lot for anybody,
Right.
let alone a child that is the child of the potential of the victim and of the potential suspect in the murder.
I'm wondering maybe if he's thinking about that while he's still been in jail, being held on no bond, maybe he might reconsider possibly putting his children through that again and possibly just take a plea. But again, he might be trying to prove his innocence as well too. So we'll see what happens when this case does eventually go to trial in the spring. And so, Sunny, I want to thank you so much for your time and your insight into this case. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
David Phillip Turner's trial is scheduled to begin in March of 2026. Online records show he's still being held at the Frederick County Jail in Maryland. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner.